You're exhausted all day, but when bedtime comes, your mind starts racing. You lie awake replaying conversations, making mental to do lists, worrying about things you can't control. You finally fall asleep, then wake up at 3 a.m. with your heart pounding. During the day, you're anxious and on edge, even when nothing's actually wrong. Your periods are irregular or heavy. You might have terrible PMS, mood swings, irritability, breast tenderness. And here's the confusing part: you feel wired and tired at the same time. This is what progesterone depletion looks like. I'm Lynn, and today we're talking about progesterone, the calming, restorative hormone that most exhausted women are completely missing. Because here's what nobody's telling you. When chronic stress depletes your cortisol, we talked about this in week 2 of this video series, it literally steals the building blocks meant for progesterone. Your body has to choose survival hormones or calm hormones. Survival always wins. Let's talk about what progesterone actually does, why chronic caregiving depletes it, and how to support it naturally so you can finally feel calm, rested, and like yourself again. Most people think progesterone is just a pregnancy hormone, but progesterone is so much more than that. It's one of your most important hormones for energy, calm, sleep, and overall well being. Here's what progesterone does when it's at healthy levels. Number one, it calms your nervous system. Progesterone is nature's anti-anxiety agent. It activates GABA receptors in your brain, the same receptors that anti-anxiety medications target. When progesterone is adequate, you feel calm and grounded, able to handle stress without spiraling, emotionally resilient, present, and centered. When it's low, you feel anxious, overwhelmed, and on edge, even when life isn't particularly stressful. Number two, progesterone has a sedating, sleep promoting effect. It helps you fall asleep more easily, stay asleep through the night, achieve deep restorative sleep stages, and wake up feeling actually refreshed. This is why many women sleep terribly in the first half of their cycle when progesterone is low, and better in the second half when progesterone rises, assuming their cycle is healthy. Number three, progesterone and estrogen work together like a seesaw. When progesterone drops, estrogen becomes relatively dominant, even if your estrogen isn't high. This creates an estrogen dominant set of symptoms. You may have heavy, painful periods, severe PMS and mood swings, breast tenderness and fibrocystic breasts, water retention and bloating, weight gain, especially around the hips and thighs, increased anxiety and irritability. Progesterone keeps estrogen in check and prevents these symptoms. Number four, progesterone helps regulate your blood sugar. It works with cortisol and insulin to do this. It supports your thyroid function because it improves the conversion of T4 to T3. It builds and maintains your muscle. and it supports a healthy body composition. When progesterone is low, your metabolism slows, your blood sugar becomes unstable, and your weight gain becomes more difficult to control. Number 5, progesterone is neuroprotective. It supports cognitive function and memory. It protects against anxiety and depression. It helps repair nerve damage, and it supports myelin, which is the protective coating around your nerves. Low progesterone is strongly associated with brain fog, memory issues, and mood disorders. Number 6, it reduces inflammation. Progesterone has anti-inflammatory effects throughout your body. When it's depleted, inflammation increases, which affects everything from joint pain to gut health to autoimmune conditions. So when I say progesterone is your calm hormone, I'm not exaggerating. It literally calms your nervous system, supports your sleep, balances your mood, protects your brain, and helps your body function optimally. Without it, you feel anxious, exhausted, wired at night, and completely out of balance. Now, here's the critical piece that connects everything we've been talking about in this series. Your body makes all your steroid hormones: cortisol, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, and DHEA from the same starting material, pregnenolone. Pregnenolone is made from cholesterol, which is why extremely low-fat diets can destroy hormone production. Think of pregnenolone as the raw material, and your body has to decide how to allocate it. In an ideal world, pregnenolone gets converted into some cortisol for stress response and daily rhythm, some progesterone for calm, sleep, and hormone balance, and some DHEA, which becomes testosterone and estrogen. Everything is balanced. You have stress resilience and calm, energy and rest, balance. But when you're under chronic stress, when you've spent years or decades in caretaker mode, managing everyone's needs, pushing through exhaustion, never truly resting, your body interprets this as an emergency. And in an emergency, your body prioritizes survival hormones over everything else. This is called pregnenolone steal, or the cortisol steal pathway. Here's what happens. Your body diverts almost all available pregnenolone toward cortisol production because, from your body's perspective, cortisol equals survival. But this means there's very little pregnenolone left over to make progesterone. The result? Cortisol production increases initially, so you feel wired, anxious, and can't relax. Progesterone production plummets. You lose your calming, balancing hormone, and you end up anxious and exhausted at the same time. This is why you can't sleep, even though you're bone-sucking tired. This is why you feel on edge, even when nothing is actively stressful. This is why your periods got worse, your PMS intensified, and you feel emotionally fragile. This is not a character flaw. It's not weakness. Your body has been sacrificing progesterone to keep you functioning under chronic stress. So let's look at the 3 phases of progesterone depletion. Phase 1 is the early stress response. Cortisol rises, progesterone stops starts dropping. You might notice worse PMS, lighter sleep, more anxiety, and your periods might become irregular. Phase 2 is sustained depletion. So here's where your progesterone is significantly low. You may experience severe anxiety, insomnia, heavy periods, or emotional volatility. So you feel wired but tired, and your brain fog and memory issues may worsen. Phase 3 is complete exhaustion. Both cortisol and progesterone are depleted. You experience crushing fatigue, no stress resilience, complete hormone chaos. Your periods may stop altogether or become extremely irregular, and you feel like you're barely surviving. If you've watched the previous videos in this series, you can see how it all connects. Week 1, we discussed the hormone exhaustion cascade, how it begins with chronic caregiving. Week 2 was how cortisol becomes dysregulated. Week 3 is on how your thyroid function declines. And week 4 today is how progesterone gets stolen to fuel the stress response. So it's not separate problems. It's one interconnected cascade of hormone depletion. But when we address it systematically, supporting cortisol rhythm, nourishing the thyroid, and now restoring progesterone, your body can heal. So what can you do to support progesterone naturally? There are 3 approaches: nutritional support, herbal support, and lifestyle practices. Let's break them down. So let's talk first about nutritional support for progesterone. Progesterone is made from cholesterol and requires specific nutrients for production and metabolism. First, we need healthy fats. It's essential for hormone production. Your body literally cannot make progesterone without adequate fat and cholesterol. The best sources are pasture-raised eggs, especially the yolks, wild-caught fatty fish, such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel, grass-fed butter or ghee, avocados, coconut oil, nuts and seeds, especially walnuts and pumpkin seeds, and olives and olive oil. So your target is to include healthy fats at every meal. Don't fear cholesterol. Your hormones need it. Number 2 is vitamin C. It's required for progesterone production. Vitamin C is concentrated in the corpus luteum. That's the structure that produces progesterone after ovulation. And it's essential for progesterone synthesis. The best sources of vitamin C are bell peppers, especially red bell peppers, and especially the inside part that you might throw away. Your citrus fruits, strawberries, kiwi, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and papaya. You want to target 500 to 1,000 milligrams daily through food or supplementation. Number 3, vitamin B6. This supports progesterone metabolism. B6 helps your body produce and utilize progesterone properly. It's also crucial for managing PMS symptoms. Your best sources of vitamin B6 are wild-caught fish, such as tuna or salmon, poultry, like chicken and turkey, pistachios, chickpeas, bananas, spinach, and sweet potatoes. Your target here is 50 to 100 milligrams daily, and you can get that through food or B-complex supplements. Number 4 is magnesium. Magnesium works synergistically with progesterone to calm the nervous system. Most exhausted women are magnesium deficient. Your best sources of magnesium are dark leafy greens such as spinach and Swiss chard, pumpkin seeds and almonds, dark chocolate, especially 85% or more cacao, avocados, black beans, and quinoa. Here you want to target 400 to 600 milligrams daily, again, through food and supplementation. I want to note here that magnesium glycinate or threonate are the best forms for absorption and nervous system support. Number 5 is zinc. You need adequate zinc to ovulate properly. No ovulation equals no progesterone production in cycling women. So your best sources of zinc are oysters, grass-fed beef and lamb, pumpkin seeds, chickpeas, and cashews. You want to target here 15 to 30 milligrams daily. I covered this in week 3 for the thyroid. It's important for progesterone too. So now we'll talk about herbal support for progesterone. I have an important disclaimer here. These herbs support progesterone production or provide progesterone-like effects. So always work with a practitioner, especially if you have hormone-sensitive conditions or are on medication. So the first one is Vitex, also known as chasteberry. Vitex works on the pituitary gland to support healthy progesterone production in the second half of your cycle. It's best for low progesterone with regular cycles, PMS symptoms, irregular periods, and luteal phase defects. So you want to use this 400 to 1,000 milligrams daily, typically in the morning. It takes 3 to 6 months to see the full effects. And don't use if you're on hormonal birth control. This is important. Vitex can make some women feel worse initially, especially those with very depleted hormones. So start low and go slow. Number 2, maca root. Maca doesn't contain hormones, but it supports the endocrine system's ability to produce balanced hormones, including progesterone. So it's best for your overall hormone balance, energy and stamina, your libido, and perimenopausal women. So how do you use this? You want 1,500 to 3,000 milligrams daily. It comes in powdered form that you can use in smoothies. So start with a small amount and increase gradually. You also want to rotate it on and off, so 5 days on and 2 days off. I also want to note that gelatinized maca is easier to digest. Number 3 is wild yam. Wild yam contains diosgenin, which is a compound that can be converted to progesterone in a lab, though your body can't do this conversion directly. However, wild yam cream can provide topical support. So this is best for topical progesterone support, and it can help with PMS and perimenopause symptoms, and I would use it in conjunction with other support. So how do you use this? Again, a natural progesterone cream. It's bioidentical from wild yam. Apply to the soft tissue areas of your inner arms, your inner thighs, and your breasts. And typically you'll use this on days 14 to 28 of your cycle. This is your luteal phase. It's also, again, important to work with a practitioner for proper dosing. Number 4 is red raspberry leaf. While not directly increasing progesterone, red raspberry leaf supports uterine health and helps balance that estrogen-progesterone ratio. So this is best for uterine tone, heavy periods, PMS cramping, and overall reproductive support. So you can use this as a tea, having 1 to 3 cups daily. There are tinctures, so just follow the product instructions. And this is considered safe for long-term use. Number 5 is Dong Quai. This is used in traditional Chinese medicine for hormone balancing and blood building. Dong Quai is best for irregular cycles, PMS, perimenopausal symptoms, and your overall female vitality. So you typically use this in combination formulas. So again, work with an herbalist or a TCM practitioner or any practitioner that is well versed in this. Don't use during menstruation because it can increase bleeding. And so it's important not for use if you're on blood thinners. So here's some progesterone supportive meal ideas. So for breakfast, you could have scrambled eggs. Again, go for pasture raised with some sauteed spinach and avocado. Some smoked salmon with cream cheese and berries. Full fat Greek yogurt with walnuts, strawberries, and dark chocolate mixed in. Lunch and dinner options are maybe wild salmon with roasted Brussels sprouts and sweet potato, some grass-fed beef with broccoli and quinoa, maybe chicken with bell peppers, avocado, and pumpkin seeds. If you feel the need for an evening snack, which is okay because this can support progesterone before bed, have a handful of almonds with a few squares of dark chocolate, maybe a banana with some almond butter, or maybe just some herbal tea. That red raspberry leaf or chamomile can be good, especially if you have a small serving of healthy fat, like a fat bomb. So let's talk about the evening wind down practice for progesterone. Here's a lifestyle piece that ties it all together. You can eat all the right foods and take all the right herbs, but if you're not supporting your nervous system's natural wind down process, your progesterone won't have a chance to do its job. Remember, progesterone's job is to calm you, help you sleep, and restore you. But if you're going 100 miles per hour until the moment your head hits the pillow, your nervous system is still in fight or flight mode. So here's the evening wind down practice for progesterone support. The protocol starts about 2 to 3 hours before bed. So step 1 is dim the lights. And if your bedtime is 10 p.m., then this is 8 p.m. So why you want to do this is bright light, especially blue light, suppresses melatonin and keeps your nervous system active. It also interferes with the natural progesterone melatonin connection. So what you do is you turn off the overhead lights, use lamps which have warm bulbs, maybe light candles if you enjoy them. Wear blue light blocking glasses if you must use screens, and put your devices in night mode. This signals to your body, day is ending, it's time to shift toward rest. Step 2 is to stop eating at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. Why you want to do this is that late night eating, especially carbs or sugar, spikes blood sugar and insulin, which interferes with progesterone's calming effect and disrupts your sleep. So what you do is finish dinner by 7 or 8 p.m. at the latest. If you need a small snack, choose a protein fat, such as almond butter, a small piece of cheese, a handful of nuts. Herbal tea is fine. Make sure it's non-caffeinated. This allows your body to focus on restoration rather than digestion. Step 3 is gentle movement or stretching for 10 to 15 minutes. Why you want to do this is that gentle movement helps discharge any remaining nervous system activation from the day without creating a stress response. So what you want to do is some restorative yoga poses, such as child's pose, legs up the wall, or reclining butterfly. Any gentle stretching on the floor will help. Maybe slow walking outside. The bonus for this is you get that natural darkness, which supports melatonin. Maybe some Tai Chi or Qigong, or self-massage, such as your feet, hands, neck, and shoulders. You want to avoid intense exercise because this raises cortisol and interfere with progesterone's calming effect. Step 4 is a nervous system regulation practice for 10 to 20 minutes. Why you want to do this? This is where you actively shift from sympathetic stress to parasympathetic rest in your nervous system dominance. Progesterone works best when your nervous system feels safe. So choose one of these options. There's 4 of them. Option A is breath work. Do a 4-7-8 breathing, which is inhale 4 counts, hold 7, exhale 8. Box breathing, inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Or maybe extended exhale breathing, inhale 4, exhale 6 to 8. And you want to do that for 5 to 10 rounds. Option B is a body scan meditation. Lie down comfortably, scan through your body from toes to head. Notice sensations without judgment. Consciously release tension in each area. Option C is yin yoga, restorative yoga. You may have done this before, but you can extend it and do it here as well. So hold gentle poses for 3 to 5 minutes each. Focus on deep, slow breathing and allow your body to soften and release. And option D is journaling. Do a brain dump. Write everything swirling in your mind. You can include a gratitude practice with this, 3 to 5 things from the day. And you could write tomorrow's top 3 priorities so you can let them go for tonight. Step 5 is your herbal and supplement support. You want this 30 to 60 minutes before bed. These work synergistically with progesterone to support deep sleep and nervous system calm. So here you may consider the magnesium glycinate or 3 and 8. 300 to 500 milligrams, because this supports GABA, enhances progesterone's calming effect, and you can do this as a tea as well. L-theanine, 200 to 400 milligrams. This will promote alpha brain waves, which reduces anxiety. Some herbal teas to consider here are red raspberry leaf, chamomile, passion flower, or valerian root. Maybe CBD oil, if it works for you. 20 to 40 milligrams supports nervous system regulation. I did want to note, if you're using progesterone cream, apply it during this time frame to your soft tissue areas. Step 6 is to create a sleep sanctuary. Your sleep environment affects progesterone's ability to facilitate deep restorative sleep. You want to optimize your temperature because you want a cool room, 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, because progesterone naturally raises body temperatures, so coolness helps. Darkness, blackout curtains or an eye mask. For sound, have a white noise machine or earplugs if it's needed. Comfort, you want a quality mattress, a supportive pillow, and cozy blankets. You may want to diffuse lavender essential oil. Lavender supports GABA. It enhances progesterone's calming effect. If you don't have a diffuser, maybe put a few drops on your pillowcase or have something nearby, like a cotton ball or something, that you put some of that on. Step 7 is consistent sleep-wake times. Progesterone production follows circadian rhythms. Irregular sleep times disrupts hormone production. So what you can do here is go to bed around the same time every night, ideally between 10 and 11 p.m. Wake up around the same time every morning, even weekends. This supports the cortisol progesterone balance that we've been building throughout this series. So here's the complete evening protocol at a glance. 8 p.m., make sure you're finished eating and dim the lights. 8:30 p.m., you do your gentle movement or stretching for 10 to 15 minutes. 8:45 p.m., do some nervous system practice such as breath work, meditation, or journaling, and do that 10 to 20 minutes. 9:15 p.m., magnesium and herbal tea. 9:30 p.m., prepare your sleep sanctuary. 10 p.m., lights out, consistent bedtime. So what can you expect when you do this? Here's what you might notice when you start supporting progesterone. Weeks 1 through 2, you might slightly easier time falling asleep, maybe less nighttime waking, reduced anxiety during the day, and maybe feeling a bit more emotionally stable. Weeks 3 to 4, you might have a deeper sleep quality, maybe more consistent energy, less wired, tired feeling. Your PMS symptoms might start to ease, and maybe you'll notice better stress resilience. Weeks 6 through 8, you might notice significant improvements in sleep, maybe noticeable calm and emotional balance. Your periods may be regular, less painful if you're cycling. You may have improved mood and mental clarity. And weeks 8 through 12, you may have sustained improvements in all areas, feeling like yourself again. You can tell your hormone balance is restoring and your overall nervous system is more regulated. So remember, these timelines assume you're also supporting the foundations we covered in previous weeks. In week 2, we covered cortisol rhythm. So that was your morning light plus movement plus protein. Week 3 was thyroid nutrition, iodine, selenium, zinc, and tyrosine. And week 4, today, is progesterone support. These aren't separate protocols, they work together. You're building an entire hormonal foundation. Also important, some women need additional support beyond nutrition and lifestyle. So consider working with a practitioner if you have diagnosed hormone conditions such as PCOS or endometriosis. Your periods have stopped or are severely irregular. You're in perimenopause or menopause. You've tried these approaches for 3 or more months with minimal improvement, or you have severe anxiety, depression, or insomnia. Bioidentical progesterone therapy might be appropriate and can be life-changing for some women. There's no shame in needing medical support. So let's recap how the first 4 weeks connect. Week 1, you learn that exhaustion isn't random. It's a hormone cascade triggered by chronic caregiving. Week 2, you addressed cortisol dysregulation with the morning protocol, light plus movement plus protein. Week 3, You supported your thyroid with the 4 essential nutrients of iodine, selenium, zinc, and tyrosine. And week 4 today, you're restoring progesterone with nutrition, herbs, and the evening wind down practice. Do you see the pattern? Morning protocol supports cortisol awakening response. Thyroid nutrition supports metabolism and energy production. Evening protocol supports progesterone and nervous system restoration. You're creating a full day rhythm that supports your body's natural hormone production. This is how you heal from depletion, not with one supplement or one habit change, but with a comprehensive, systematic approach that addresses the root patterns. Here's your homework for this week. Assess your progesterone status. Do you have trouble falling or staying asleep? Do you feel anxious even when nothing's actively stressful? Is your PMS severe? Are your periods heavy or irregular? If you answered yes to 2 or more, your progesterone likely needs support. So add progesterone supportive foods, healthy fats at every meal, focus on vitamin C rich foods, and include B6 and magnesium sources. Implement the evening wind down practice. Start with just 3 steps this week. Dim your lights 2 hours before bed. Stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. And do 10 minutes of breath work or stretching before sleep. You don't have to be perfect. Just start. And number 4, track your sleep quality and anxiety levels. How long does it take to fall asleep? Do you wake during the night? How do you feel in the morning? How's your anxiety during the day? Give it at least 7 to 10 days before assessing. And if you haven't already, take the Energy Alchemy quiz. The link is in the description to understand your overall exhaustion pattern. Your progesterone depletion might look different depending on whether you're a hormonal hurricane, somatic store, constitutional mismatch, or transitional transformer. The foundations are the same, but the nuances matter. Next week, we're diving into estrogen dominance. What happens when progesterone drops and estrogen becomes relatively too high? You'll learn why this causes heavy periods, weight gain, mood swings, and how to support healthy estrogen metabolism through liver and gut health. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'm Lynn, and I'm here to help you reclaim the life force you've poured into everyone else. If this was helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with another woman who can't sleep even though she's exhausted. It's not insomnia. It's progesterone depletion, and it's addressable. Drop a comment below and let me know. Are you going to try the evening wind down practice? Which step are you most excited about? I read every comment and I'm here to support you. See you next week.